Wiggle your fingertips. And get the kinks and cracks out of the joints, moving your ankles and your wrists around. And let's take the arms up overhead. Full breath, reach, lengthen, and exhale, relax. Bring the right knee to your chest, fingers over right shin, draw the right leg into your body. A light squeeze. Left hand on the right knee. Move the right leg to your left. Left hand on top of right thigh. The shoulders remain anchored to the mat. And a couple breaths. Shift yourself back at the center. Both legs long, Shavasana. Center the hips. One more breath here. Relax. And lift your left knee to your chest. Fingers over left shin. Draw the left leg close to your body. You can take your right hand onto your left knee and move your left leg to the right. Right hand on top of left thigh. Couple breaths. Straighten out your left leg, shift yourself back to center. Hip centered, hands by the sides. Breathe. And then bend the knees, put the feet on the floor. Move the feet, move the heels a little bit wide. So the heels are closer to the edges of your mat. With your palms face down outside of the mat, push the heels and lift the hips. Squeeze the backside. The glute med and the glute max will be working. So the sides of the hips and underneath. Pointing tailbone away, lifting your hips high, feeling the whole backside work. Maybe even the hamstrings are engaged. Here for 3. Lifting hips for 2. Nice and slowly. And down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Go. Hips are back in, move the feet back in a bit. Take the right heel up, fingers behind the right thigh. Push the low back and reach the right heel to the seat. Pulling the right leg close, reaching the heel away and the right toes towards your face. Externally rotate the right hip. So the right toes kind of point towards the right. The thigh rotates open. Take the right ankle onto your left thigh. So right toes will point right and then over down. When you're ready, lift your left foot up and your fingers can move behind your left thigh or your left shin. Shoulders are set back. Hips towards the mat. Right elbow pushes the right thigh. And a little rock of your knees. You can lower your left foot down, right foot down. Just for a moment, lengthen out both of your legs. The front of the hip feels a bit of a stretch. Take one long breath. And your feet back on the ground. Knees rebend. Keep your heels really close to your glutes this time, so you should be able to feel the heels with your fingertips. Push the heels, lift the hips up. This time, you're keeping the hands face down. Think of the feet trying to rip the mat apart. So like your feet are moving away from each other, and then like the heels are pulling in. So again, the feet are trying to split the mat apart first, then you're pulling the heels in close as you're keeping the hips lifted. One more breath. And come down slow. Bone by bone. Once the hips have touched down, take the left heel up, your fingers behind your left thigh. Low back pushes down, left heel reaches up. So toes towards the face, shoulders set back. And breathe in. Let go. We'll rotate your left toes to face out. So you want to find that rotation in your left thigh, and then move your left ankle onto your right thigh. You can press your left leg away to open the hip, and then we'll thread the needle, lift your right foot up, fingers behind right thigh or shin. Again, shoulders are back, tailbone is down, and a gentle rock of your knees left and right. Place the right foot back down, left foot back down, lengthen both legs. Take a full inhale, sigh out the mouth. And bend the knees again, feet back on the floor. Lift your feet up so your shins are parallel to the ground. The low back pushes the floor, the hands move onto your thighs. Press your thighs as your legs resist, warming up the low core. 3, hands push, legs pull. 2. And on 1, you'll lower the feet back to the mat. And then bring the heels together, open your knees wide. A little bounce of the knees from the front of your pelvis, the groin muscles opening, and your thighs. And then bring the knees back up. So your feet about hip width. Still bent, knees still bent. Let's lift lift the hips up. And then think of opening the legs wider. Bring the knees back in. Come down so the hips just graze the floor. And then right away, hips come back up. Open up your thighs, bring them back in. Come down slow, hips touch, lift right away. Let's do 8 of these. Thighs open. Close, come down, hips touch, lift, thighs open, close, touch the low back, lift back up. Do 5, close, hips touch the mat, squeeze the glutes to lift, thighs open, close, come down, hips touch, lift back up. 3, together, hips down, squeeze the glutes, lift. 2, together, hips touch the mat, lift, last, 1, together, hips down, touch, lift, just come back down really slow, bone by bone, vertebrae by vertebrae. And once the hips have touched, bring both of the knees up towards the chest, give your legs a hug. Rock yourself left and right so you're massaging your low back into the floor. Do your best here. Bring the heels to the ceiling. So hands can face the floor. Reach the legs up. Breathe in. Lower the legs 25% of the way. Legs long. Pause. Inhale. Lower the legs down 50% of the way. Stay there. Take a breath in. Hands are by your sides. Lower the feet down 70%, 75%. Pause. Take an inhale. And then lower the heels an inch off the floor. Point the toes away. We'll flutter kick the feet like you're in a pool for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees in. Give your legs a hug. Open the knees wider, and then bring the knees to your shoulders. And then rock your hips left and right, keeping the knees wide. So really feeling open in your hip joints. Let's put the feet back down. Take your right arm up. Roll onto your right side. So you're in a fetal position. Let's lengthen out your legs. We'll just do 10. Lift your top leg up and then down. So the left hand is on the floor in front, right arm's overhead. You're lifting your left leg up and lowering. 8 more to go. Lift and lower. 7. Down. 6. Lower. 5. 4. 3. Down. 2 more. Last. 1. On the left leg, you can use your left hand, give your left hip a punch. Massaging it, getting new blood flow into the piriformis muscle. Side of your hip, the lead muscle. All of that area of tension, the softer part that feels tight. Then you can roll back onto your back. And your feet on the floor, adjust your hips to the right side of your mat. Take your left arm overhead and just roll right onto your left side. Same thing on the next side. So the right hand on the floor in front, the legs can go long. And you lift your right leg up and then back down. 9. And lower. Using the left bicep as a pillow for your ear. Just focusing on the side of the hip for 6. 5. And down nice and slow. 4. The slower the better. 3, 2, and final 1. Lower it down, take the top hand, give that hip a punch, kind of massaging it out, getting the new blood flow into that area of tension. And your next step is to roll onto your front, so the right hand onto the ground, shift yourself onto your belly, palms faced down. Point your toes away, flex the thighs, lift the ribs, lift the hands, lift the elbows, hold here. Just warming up the back body. Again, engaging the thighs, lifting the ribs. 3, 2, and slowly come down. On 1, hands down, chin down. Just for a moment, look to your right. So the ear is on the mat. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck, your cervical spine. 1 breath. Lift your head, look the other way. Other ear on the mat, and twist in the back of the neck. Breathe in, and to breathe out. Bring your chin back onto the floor. Press your knees, lift your hips. Push your hands to rise up. Open your knees wide. Hips back to child's pose. Your knees wide, toes together, elbows down, forehead down, and a little rock left and right. So you're feeling the low back loosen. And shift yourself up, hands and knees. So the knees shift in a bit, directly beneath the shoulders. Look over the right shoulder, back to the right heel. And stretch on the left side of your torso. Take a moment to explore it. You need to fidget a bit, maybe pointing the tailbone down, getting a deeper sensation in the low back. And shift to center. Next side, you look over your left shoulder, back to your left heel. Gentle movement to unlock the low back on the right side. So you're in the tabletop, look to the ceiling, lift your tailbone, move your biceps forward, inhale. And then round it in, shift the chest. So exhale, go to your belly. knees back and forth. And shift yourself back up to high plank. If you'd like to lower your knees down, go for it. We're going to hold high plank just for a moment. Try to create one line from the heels to the crown of the head, or the knees to the crown of the head. Up to you. 3, 2. Take an inhale. Hips back up to the ceiling. With your knees lightly bent, you'll walk the feet to the top of your mat. In a passive hold. So with your hands still on the floor, knees a little bent, and shift your weight forward and back. So toes take weight, heels take weight, shifting your hips forward and back. Maybe even lifting your heels up, and then lifting your toes up, using the hands to release them. And then with your feet centered, you can keep the knees bent and walk the hands up your legs. Shift yourself to a standing position. When you're all the way up, your shoulders can move to ears. Inhale. Back and down. Okay, just pivot so I can see you. And your hands in prayer when you're ready to go. Let me just check to make sure that no one new has signed in, just to be safe here. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Fingers interlaced. Breathe in. Interlace the fingers and the hands to the floor as you breathe out. Gaze to one knuckle. You'll inhale, the hands go forward. So our intention here is to stretch the lungs, keep inflating, get as much air in as you can. Flip and out your mouth. Interlace the fingers and the hands down to the ground. Continue. Breathe in. 5, 4. Keep your gaze in the same knuckle. Lift your chin. Stretch the front of your throat. Flip. Interlace the fingers and the hands down. Move through 3 more cycles. Interlace the fingers, hands to the floor. 2 more times. Lubricating your shoulder joints. A lot of this is about focus as well. Connecting the breath to the movement. Interlace. Hands down. 1 more cycle. And release. Interlace. And hands down. Release the hands by your sides. One stays forward, Tadasana. So the intention here is to make your spine straight. Tailbone down, ribs up. Think of lengthening the back of the neck so the crown of the head strives high. Like we're setting the muscle memory, you're going to take 1 more full breath, feel expansion in your body, and then out the mouth to release it. Now shift the weight into your right leg. Guide your left knee over. Take your left heel to ankle, left foot to calf, or left foot to thigh. You can engage the standing leg, so the right thigh is flexed. You'll lift ribs and hands at prayer. So again, the same thing as that previous pose. Do your best to lift up, to lengthen your spine. And then try to broaden your eyebrows. Notice the internal silence that's created, this intense focus. Your lips. Shift the weight to the left leg. Guide your right knee open. Heel to ankle, foot to calf, or foot to thigh. Engage left leg, hands apart. And again, lengthen spine. Tailbone down, try to lift the head up. Gently press your palms, feeling the shoulder, collarbone broaden. Full breaths. As you exhale. Let's take your toes together, heels are lightly apart. Arms come up to the ceiling. Breathe in, interlace the fingers, lean to the right as you exhale. And rise yourself back up. Breathe in. Lean left as your hips go right. And rise back up. Bend the knees, bend the elbows to stretch the back of your legs. Back up. One more set. Inhale. Lean right. Hips left. We're going to stay for one breath cycle. So feel an inflation, expansion. Exhale to find depth. And back up. Breathe in. Keep the core tight. Inhale. Lean left as you exhale. And again, staying for a breath cycle. So you'll inflate. Feel expansion over the right side and depth as you exhale. And then rise back up. Release the fingertips, but reach them up. Inhale, arms wide as you exhale, palms faced up. Come all the way down by your sides. And then shoulders shrug, up, back, down. Open the feet so they're hip width. Take the arms up parallel to the floor. Inhale, knees bend, hips back. Like you're trying to rip the mat apart. So again, the sides of the hips are working. Pelvis, thinking of lengthening the low back. We're sitting back to a chair for one more breath. You'll start to straighten the legs. Lift your heels to rise to your tiptoes. Keep the arms forward, shoulders back. You should feel the shoulders begin to warm. With your heels lifted high, bend your knees. Try to focus on moving the weight to the base of the big toe. So less about the pinky toe side of the feet, more about the inner part of your feet. And you're slowly lowering, keeping the shoulders over the hips, thighs parallel. Back up. Inhale, reach for the ceiling, get as tall as you can. Then lower the heels down, lower the arms wide and by your sides. Give your whole body a shake. Release it. Now take your toes together. Heels are lightly apart. Knees bend, hips back. Take your left hand, right leg, right hand, low back. Twist to the right, lowering the seat. Your knees stay connected and your weight back into the heels. 3, 2, inhale, face the floor, on 1, rise up. Reach for the ceiling, look up. You'll lean back as you send your hips forward. Shoulders relax down, ribs lift up. And rise back up, hands come back to prayer. Inhale. Bend the knees to lower the seat down the back. Take your right hand, left leg, left hand, low back. Lengthen and twist. Hips stay low. 3, 2, inhale. And face the floor on 1. Let's rise back up. Reach high, look up. Take your arms wide. With your exhale, the hands to your low back behind you. Palms faced inward. Lift the sternum, bring the elbows closer together. Send your hips forward as you lean back. yourself back up. Release the hands, give them a shake. Legs, release. And you'll walk the feet up towards the top of your mat. Just keep your feet a bit apart. With your knees bent, hands onto your thighs. Look up towards the ceiling, move your tailbone back. And bring your chin to the chest, tuck your tailbone. Again. Look up, shoulders back, tailbone back. And round it in. Tuck your tail up to your waistline. One more time. Create that U shape into your spine. Come back through neutral, and then walk the hands down the legs to fold. You can hold opposite elbows, so you're going to pass and fold. Gentle micro bend at the knees. Sway left and right. With your knees bent and your hands down, send your left foot back, left knee down, tuck your left toes. Move the right hand under the right leg. Lift yourself up. You can take both hands on the right thigh or left hand to the ceiling. Right knee to reach, hips forward, knee right. Bring yourself back upright. We'll take both hands to the ceiling. Both hands reach up. Inhale. Move your left hand forward and your right hand back. So you're twisting to look over the right. Inhale, lift the ribs, look back to the right. And your right hand goes down and up and forward again. Reach both hands high for a low lunge. Up, inhale. And then both hands come down to frame the right foot. Let's tuck the back toes underneath. Start to walk the hands back, move the hips towards the left heel. Maybe your left hand untucks the pinky toe. Fingers walk forward. Do your best to straighten the right leg, and moving the right hip back. 3, 2. And on 1, we'll shift back forward, so your right foot is back on the floor. Your left toes are still tucked underneath. Straighten your back leg. You can put the right hand under the right thigh. Rise yourself up, your left hand by your side, and your right hand by your side. Okay, right hand by your side. Lean in. So you're lifting the back heel up, sternum forward. Your triceps would engage by lifting the hands a bit higher. Keep your left thigh strong and navel drawn in. 3, 2. Take the hands through and up overhead. Breathe in. Bend your left knee, point the tailbone down. Lift the ribs more, look up, find a gentle back bend. Create more space in front of your left leg. Inhale, reach. Both hands come to the floor. And you can move your left knee back down. Slide the front foot back so you're in hands and knees. Look up to the ceiling, finger pads are broad, biceps are forward. And round it in towards your waist. Back to a neutral, bring your knees wide, send your hips towards your heels. Elbows down, forehead down. Think of pressing your elbows to the mat. Lubricate the wrists when moving your hands around. Make circles with your wrists. And then go the other way. Circles in the other direction. And with your hands back on the floor, shift back up to hands and knees. Breathe in. Tuck your toes underneath. Lift your hips up to downward dog. Breathe out. rise yourself up, high plank. Push up, take a moment, maybe the knees down. Rise hips forward, try to draw the belly in. Take an inhale. Bend your elbows for 3, slowly coming down. For 2, elbows by your sides, ribs to the mat. On 1, point your toes away. Think of sit-ups for your back. So you'll lift the ribs, lift your elbows, lift your hands, keep your thighs strong, and lower down as you exhale. 2 more times. Thighs strong, lift the ribs, lift the hands and elbows, feel the back body working. And come back down, do this one more time. So these motions are really good for posture. All the muscles supporting the spine are engaged. And come back down. Press into your knees, lift your hips up, push into your hands to rise to a tabletop. Knees wide, hips back, child's pose. And a moment here to rest. Little movements, rock left and right. Wrists feel tight, move those around. We push the floor down and away so the hips feel like they're going closer to your heels. Rise back up, table. Toes tuck, hips up, downward dog. So the fingers are really broad. We're not dumping in the wrists. You're gripping the ground. Knees bent. Between the hands, walk the feet up. A moment in a passive fold. Maybe a little walk left and right. Maybe a bend of one knee and the other knee. Both knees bent, hands on the legs, bring your hands up, rise to stand. Make your way to the top, shoulders to ears, inhale. Back and down. Hands to your low back behind you. Lift your heart, move your elbows closer, press your hips forward to open up the psoas muscles, the front of your pelvis. And shift back up. Body to shake. Okay, all let to go on the next side. So your feet stay about hip width. Knees a little bent. Hands on thighs. Again, look up with your tailbone back, inhale. And round it in as you exhale until your tail towards the side. One more. Inhale, look up. Shoulders back, tailbone back. Chin up. And round it in. Start to walk the hands down the legs away towards that fold. Side mat. Knees a bit bent. We'll take the right foot back this time and your right knee down. Untuck your right toes. Take your left hand onto your left thigh. Shift yourself upright, maybe both hands on the front leg to start. Hips forward. Then to exaggerate the sensation, lift the right arm to the ceiling. Breathe in, look up. You can lean towards the left. Back to facing forward, both hands to the ceiling. Inhale. Take your left hand back and your right hand forward to twist. So your inhales to lift your ribs. Exhales to look back. Think of the tailbone to the back of the neck with one twist. And your left hand will go down and up. Reach both hands high, look up. With your hips forward, find a gentle back bend. So you're lifting the ribs, look high, inhale. Hands down to frame the left foot. Tuck your right toes underneath. Walk your fingertips back. Lower the hips towards the right heel. Lift your left toes up. Maybe the right hand ensures the pinky toe is also tucked underneath, so the sole of the foot is completely open. And then your hands can walk back. Shift yourself back upright. Maybe the hands are by the hips to help you get there. Keeping the right toes tucked underneath. Straighten the back leg. Take your left hand onto your left right hand by your side, rise yourself up. Keeping the right heel lifted, left hand by your side. And so your left knee is bent, shoulder blades are moving closer together. Great. Take your breath. On one, we'll sweep the arms through and up to the ceiling. Bend your right knee, point your tailbone down, try lifting the ribs and look up. Let's take another full inhale. Hands come down to frame the left foot. You can lower the back knee down, untuck the back toes, slide the front foot back, hands and knees. Pads are broad, wide. Open knees wide and send the hips back. Elbows down, forehead down. Whatever little rocking motions, pushing hands. Maybe you could think of tucking the outsides of the shoulders under. You're broadening the upper back. So the armpits will feel like they're hollowing out. And rise back up. Hands and knees. Toes tucked under. And downward dog. Fingers really broad. Again, gripping the ground, not dumping on the wrists. And rise yourself high. So your core contained, your thighs active, biceps forward. Inhale. And slowly come down. Bend the elbows for 3, 2, and ribs down on 1. Point your toes away. Again, like sit-ups for your back. Engage the thighs, lift the ribs, lift the elbows up. And lower yourself down slowly as you exhale. 2 more times. Lift and hold. And then lower down. And one more time. Lift and hold. And come back to the mat. Press the knees, lift your hips up. Push your hands, shift yourself to the table. Knees wide, back to child's pose. Relaxing the low back. And then come back up, hands and knees. Toes tuck under, lift your hips up. Walk your hands back to your feet. You're all the way back. Bend the knees. Bring the hands behind your legs. Grab opposite wrists or opposite elbows. Knees stay bent. Look up, heart forward, and hips lift higher. 3 breaths. Release when you're ready. Let yourself dangling. Maybe hold opposite elbows in front. Pushing it closer to your chest. Round side to side. Knees bent, hands on thighs. Rise up to stand. Open up, breathe in. And a full exhale. So let's come to the middle of the mat. We'll face the long side of your mat. Middle of your mat facing the long end. It doesn't matter which side you take. Either way. Legs out wide. So you want to face the long side of the mat. It doesn't matter if you're facing right or back or left, but the long side. So with your legs wide, take, let's say the right. Move the right toes out. So the right toes will point towards the edge of the mat, and your left foot will be parallel to the back of your mat. Arms out wide, bend your right knee, look right. Breathe in. If you have more depth, find it. And take one more smooth breath. Lower the right forearm down to your right thigh, left arm towards the ceiling, look up to your left thumb. Pull your feet closer together so you feel the inner thighs engage. Make your left hip is lifting, left rib cage twisting open. Take one more inhale. You can look back down towards the floor as you exhale. Press into the right foot to shift yourself back up. Pause here, breathe in. Full exhale. We'll rotate the right hand to face the ceiling, lift the right arm up, left hand to your left leg or your low back, and extend the right side of the body, reaching the right arm. Take a full breath, feel the expansion, and rise yourself back up into a warrior two position. Place the hands back onto the hips. Straighten the right leg, pivot the right toes inward, left toes pivot to face the other side of the mat. So left toes point forward, right foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Arms back out wide, look left, bend your left knee. Breathe in, ribs lift, and perhaps more depth. Three breaths. More depth in the left knee if you have it. Elbow down the thigh, right arm up, pulling the feet closer to feel the inner thighs work. You're lifting the right hip, reaching the right fingers. And look back down to the floor. So to your left foot, shift yourself back into warrior two. Pause here, keep the left knee bent, inhale. Out your mouth. Rotate your left hand to face the ceiling. Lift your left arm up, take the right hand to the right leg or the low back. Extend the left side of the body and look to your left arm. And a big breath in. Rise yourself back up. Warrior two. Breathe. To hips, straighten left leg, pivot your left toes inward. Keep your hands on the hips, bend the knees, lift the ribs up, and then hinge forward. A flat back, so lift your chin, look up, keep a long spine first. Little bend in the knees, like you're lifting your tailbone up. And make your way towards a forward fold with your hands down into the mat or holding opposite elbows. Floor, come back up with your knees bent, hands on the thighs. Shift yourself up to a standing position. We'll heel toe the feet back in. Come to some balancing poses. So make your way to one of the sides of the mat. So you got a lot of runway in front of you. Hands on hips. Step forward with your left foot first. Bend your left knee. Lift the right heel up. Lift the ribs up. Lean in. Hands by the sides when you're ready. 3 breaths. And do your best. We're going to move the right knee through. So lift the right knee up. Your hands can move underneath your right thigh. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Next step, you can extend the leg. Rebend the knee. Put the right foot back down. Your legs a little shake if you want to move back. Give yourself more space for the next side. So step forward with the other foot. Hands on hips, bend the front knee, lean down. Give that a shake. So keep the weight into your left foot and lift your right knee up. Take the right hand onto the right knee and your left hand by your side. Begin to guide the right leg open. Look towards your left. Right leg, lift your left knee up, hand on knee, right hand by your side. Guide the leg open, and look to the right. So 3, 2, 1. You'll be moving your left knee back forward, and then land it. Good job. Okay, shake it off. Let's do dancer's pose. If you want to grab support, you're welcome to. Okay, so same foot, your left forward to start. Arms go through and up. Take your right hand back, bend your right knee, pick up the inside of the right foot, kick down, and back. 3 breaths. You can move the knees back together. That's it. If you want a shoulder shrug, flush out when it's tight. Coming into the next side. Left foot forward. Arms up. So the other right foot forward. Left hand back. Move the knees back together. Release the legs. Shoulder shrug, flush it out, shake your legs a bit, shake your arms a bit. Okay, so we'll do 10 squats. Toes point away. Catherine's like, yes! Awesome, can't wait. Yeah. I'll be smart. Okay, so the heels will be hip width, the knees a little bit apart, fingers interlaced. Bend the knees, find the form first. So hips back, weight to the heels. Lower down, elbows can touch thighs. Squeeze the glutes, rise up. Let's continue. Hips are back and down. You can even lift the toes up just to ensure you're doing this properly. Because we really want to avoid any risk in the knees. For people that grip the toes, they're the ones that kind of have knee problems with squats. As long as your toes are not taking weight, you should be good. Really focusing on the glute muscles, squeezing on the way up. Let's do 4, 3, 2, last. Shake. Bring the hands up behind your head, fingers interlace. You're going to lift the right knee up, try to touch your left elbow to the knee, and then lower down. Your left knee up, and the right elbow comes towards it. So I'm going really slow, but do the first kind of slower if you can. Land it, and then next side, left knee up, right elbow to knee. And lower, we'll pick the pace up a bit. 10, 10, 9. Keep the low belly drawn in. This is actually abdominal work. There is quadricep stuff, there's oblique stuff, but with your low core tightened, you're working a lot of abs here. Let's do 6, 5, 2. Last 1. Okay, shake that, release. Let's do the same, just to open up your hips. That's a lot of tightness in the psoas, so let's do the horse thing. So let's do 2 horses, okay? Stand on one edge of your mat facing the long end. So you just want to get full mobility in your hips. Left leg first, up and over, land. Right leg up and over, land. Next side. Left leg up and over, right leg up and over. Just imagine a prop here, a pylon or something. Sorry, squat down. Come back up. Next side, right leg. Think of a pylon. Way up and over, way up and over. Next side, right, and then left, and then squat down. So let's do 4. Up and over, right side, over, and then squat. Right side, and squat. Okay, 3 more to go. Left, squat, right, squat, 2 more. Side. Squat. And 1 more. Last one. Right side. Squat. Good. Shake. Okay, we're gonna. Sorry.
Get along, little pony.
Get along, little pony. Get out of here. Okay, so we haven't really done a lot of hamstrings. We're gonna do that thing we did the very first day, that hinging forward. Okay, so just worry about that for now. We'll maybe do the wide thing after. Hands on the hips, knees a bit bent, lift the ribs, hinge forward, flat back. Squeeze the back of the legs, rise up. Okay, good. Hinge, flat back, chin up, squeeze back the legs to lift. Let's do 8. And rise. 7. Back up. 6. Lift. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last. 1. Shake it. We're gonna do the squat, but level it up a bit. So I'll just show you first. It's the same idea with the squat coming down, but then when you rise up, you'll lift a knee, land. Okay, squat down and lift the other knee and down. Okay, squat, lift the left, squat, lift the right. 8, lift, still 8, up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, final 1. Let go. It's a good idea to take your hands to your low back. Press the hips forward, lean back, opening your psoas muscles from the pelvis. And come back up. Give it a shake. You do one more thing? Yeah? This one's a bit of jumping. Is that okay? A little bit? So think of making a T with your toes. Like, sorry, I'll explain this first. So like a north, south, east, west. You're just gonna hop like hopscotch. So lift your heels up, north, south, east, west, north, south, east, west, north, south, east, west, north, south, east, west. 6, east, west, 5, 4, south, east, west, 3, east, west, 2, and 1. Good job. Yay. Shake it off. Right on, guys. Good work, everybody.
Got lost.
Got lost, yeah.
Gone west.
Where's the directions? Where's the Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
We're okay. Let's come down. Let's just, I don't know, just shake it off a little bit. Maybe some very brief. We're kind of hot right now, so just do marching on the spot for like a few seconds here. Just kind of cooling down a little bit. Come on, stay up. Here we go. Sorry you can't see my face. People on the thing. You guys hope you can. People on the screen can't. Okay, shake your arms a bit. Let's open the legs wide. Take the right arm up. Left hand holds the wrist. Twist left and draw a big circle in front of your body. All the way up. One more time. Face left and one more big circle right in front of you. And we'll do the opposite. Grab onto your other wrist. Twist to the right and draw a circle in front of your body. All the way up. Twist right and second time. All the way up and then release the hands, arms wide and down by your sides. Shoulder shrug. Shake it off. Move the feet a little bit closer together. Take the right arm wide. Right arm goes across your body. Left arm comes underneath. Pull it in. I'll go lower so you can see what I'm doing here. You guys are okay. These guys can't see. I'm looking at the screen and I'm just, my head's cut off. Okay, one breath here. Then we'll open out wide, thumbs point back. And next side, left arm goes across, right arm comes underneath. Pull in, deep breath. And then go wide. And then arms down, shake it off. We'll take the right arm up to the ceiling. Reach high, take the right hand upper back. More to my knees. Left arm up, left hand to the elbow, pull it in, lean to the left. And rise yourself back up, both hands to the ceiling, reach, left hand upper back, right hand holds elbow, pull and lean right. And come back up, both hands up, and then wide, bring the fingertips behind you, interlace the fingers, think of straightening the arms, shoulders back. So you want to feel this in your biceps. You can move the hands a bit further away. So the bicep should feel this. Shoulders are down, back and down. And then release, shake it off. Let's do an eagle with the arms. So your left arm goes underneath the right arm. If they're parallel. You can hold the shoulders if you like, or twist tie the elbows. Palms facing inward. Good. Lift up and pull to feel the upper back open. Just one big breath, feeling expansion in the back body. So same thing on the next side, arms back parallel, and then sweep them wide overhead. Palms connect above, and the next side, take the right arm underneath. So you're stacking, maybe holding shoulders, or all the way. Palms face up, lift and pull, feeling the upper back open. Full breath. Arms parallel and up to the ceiling. Breathe in, and your hands come down by your sides. Let's come to a seat. So take a load off, seat to the floor. And we'll take your left leg out long, and your right foot to the inner thigh. With your left hand down, maybe your left elbow down, and your right hand to the ceiling. Look up, breathe in, lean towards your left leg, maybe the right hand behind the head. Looking up under the right arm. And we'll rise back up. And then face the long leg. Move your right foot. We'll just take it up and over. We're going to skip the hamstrings. We've done a ton of forward folding today. So your right foot up and over. Left arm will pull the shin in. Fingers interlace, or you're hugging the leg. Lift up. You're trying to straighten the spine as you pull the right thigh close. take the next side. So release that effort, lengthen out. Right leg, left foot, inner thigh, right hand down, over right elbow down, and your left arm up. Look up. Breath in, lean towards the long leg, maybe the left hand behind your head. And breathe. Mobilize yourself back upright. Keep the right leg long. Take your left foot, bring it up and over. Right arm will hug the shin. Left hand either interlaces fingers or hug the leg. And breathe. And then release that. So both feet on the floor, hands behind. Knees bent, scoop the seat forward and lay onto your back. And briefly push the feet, lift the hips up. And then lower the hips back down. Take the right thigh up and over. Legs lift. Legs go left. You could extend the left leg if you want. So the bottom one. And reach the right hand away. Twist your spine. And look out towards the hand. Back up, legs back up. Shift to center, unbind, take the next side. Your other leg, up and over. You lift. Legs to the right. You could lengthen out the right leg if you have that range. Reach your left hand away and look towards your left thumb as you're twisting the spine. Deep breaths. Back up, feet on the floor, open the knees wide with your heels together. And you could lift the feet up. Your hands can move between the thighs to grab the outsides of the feet. We'll keep your feet together so you're in a reclined cobble. Shoulders are back, knees go wide, push the low back to the floor. Feet down and lengthen out your legs. Hands by your sides, palms faced up. Breathe. Close your eyes. Notice the tingling still in the body. Notice where it's located. Maybe you're feeling it in the shoulders, along your spine. Try to keep your mind quiet. That's all for making it today. Of course, if you have time to meditate, this would be a good time to do so. I hope you guys have a fantastic day ahead, a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Namaste, my friends. Bye for now. See ya. Glenn and Catherine are waving.
Barely.
Shamim's smiling. And she's waving back! Oh, look at this! Oh. Okay, Catherine waved, Glenn didn't.
It's too tired.
Glenn's too tired. Okay, bye, Mary. Of course. Good job, guys. Good job.
Very good.
Go team! Hurrah!
On to the next.
Well, you're gonna go. Oh, I am actually. I do have a. It's funny. I teach a lot.